This year, we had two people in particular whose experiences on the Great Trail elevate that trail significance. And first up, we've got veteran author and podcast host, Tarra Gundrum. Hi, Tarra.
Hi, Kevin. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And we also have Guinness World Record holder, Ian Mackay. Hi, Ian.
Hey, Kevin. Glad to be here.
I know how much you love to be introduced with that. You're a humble guy. Welcome. Good to see you both. We're going to start with Tarra. So this summer, you embarked on a solo journey between Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and Washington, D.C., including a really nice section of the Great American Rail Trail. So what made you want to do that?
Well, I love adventure, and I love adventure on two wheels. So having the opportunity to embark on such a grand trip, I thought that I wanted to do it to help raise funds for a community organization called the 9/11 Memorial and Education Center in my hometown. So I set out on that mission to do just that, with a very important pit stop in mind in Pittsburgh. So I thought that the ability to travel by bike and travel on great portions of the Great American Rail Trail, the Gap Trail, the C&O Trail, it was a safe way for me to explore adventure on two wheels.
That's fantastic. I loved following your journey as well. It was really cool to see all your pictures and everything. You teased a little bit about your stop off in Pittsburgh. So we had lunch when you came to DC, and you were telling me about, so you stopped off at the local chapter of the Black Girls Do Bike in Pittsburgh. Tell me about the reception you got when you arrived and you told everyone that you biked there from Wisconsin.
Oh my gosh, the reception was absolutely amazing, simply because the Black Girls Do Bike organization is in place so that, women of color and women in general would find a safe space to be out and enjoy nature on their bike. And they have a national meetup every single year. And this was the first one since COVID. And so the reception was, wow, you got here by bike. How was it? How was it safe? Like you're a hero. It was just kind of crazy. But I really think that it spoke to the representation on the trail and the accessibility in a very different way. I didn't see many people who looked like me as I traveled there. So I am using this platform as a great voice to say that your organization, what you guys are doing, the access that you're giving people like me, the ability to use the trails. I think it's a great thing for representation all around.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Tarra. I had the pleasure of being on your podcast. I want to give you a quick second to plug your podcast.
Yes, so my podcast is called The Possible Project Podcast. It's a show about everyday people doing extraordinary things. So, of course, I had to have Kevin on there. And yeah, it's all about sharing positive stories and letting folks know that things are possible if we work hard to achieve it.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Tarra. Really enjoyed getting to know you, and thank you for sharing that with everybody.
My pleasure.
All right, let's bring on Ian Mackay. Hi, Ian.
Hey, Kevin.
Yes, I also have had the pleasure of getting to hang out with you a couple times, and you are a familiar face on the trails in your hometown of Port Angeles, Washington, on the Olympic Discovery Trail. You've done some awesome things, and now you spend some time on the Great American Rail Trail, traveling between DC and Columbus, Ohio. Tell me, what did you learn about yourself and trails on this journey?
Well, first off, I really love long rides in my wheelchair, and it was a pretty amazing journey. And what better space than coming from DC to Columbus, where you pretty much have 500 uninterrupted miles of trail that a wheelchair can get through. But taking a power wheelchair through the entire C&O Canal towpath and the Great Allegheny Passage, I mean, that's what, 334 miles of accessible route. Now, the C&O, it's rugged, it's remote, and I was, places no power wheelchair had been in, and it is spectacular. And the feeling of being out there is something I'll never, ever forget. But, spending time with friends in that natural setting was such a rich history. I mean, I have to say that should be a goal for all. What did I learn about myself? It cemented my philosophy that life begins at the edge of your comfort zone, and we all need to get out there and push ourselves. Now, dirt trails are rough. I mean, I'm usually more of a paved trail guy, but the beauty made it far worth it. And I'm looking forward to more rail trails in my future. Geez, what did I learn about trails? The trail community is welcoming throughout the U.S. I mean, I knew that was the case out here in Washington State, but just love the community that trails bring together. And you know, I think the Garden is challenging but doable infrastructure for power wheelchairs, and we really need more accessible infrastructure out there for people like me to go out and explore. So I thought that was awesome. But let me tell you, my chair goes about 8 miles per hour, and seeing the world at a slower pace from an isolated trail is incredibly romantic and special.
Your chair, you say it goes 8 miles an hour, but I had the chance to bike with you when we left from the capital, and that's not slow. You were going pretty quick. I had to keep up. It was impressive. So you also broke a world record this last year. I teased that. So tell me, what's that about, and what motivates you to tackle stuff like that?
Yeah. So this past summer solstice, I rode 184 miles in 24 hours in my power wheelchair. That's a long way, and it was mentally and physically exhausting. But for me, it's also extremely rewarding. I'm goal oriented and really enjoy problem solving and puzzles, and kind of wrapping my head around the many challenges was desirable. I mean, there's finding the right location and the best time of year, and what time do you start, figuring out mechanical issues and pacing and your team. Those kind of things really motivate me. But yeah, just finding solutions to unique challenges. But again, it was a chance to be out for 24 hours with a bunch of really good friends and go on another really long ride in my wheelchair. And I loved it. And who knows what the future will bring.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see what records you break next and what awesome journey to get yourself into. Thanks so much for joining, Ian. It's been really great to get to know you so far.
Thank you, Kevin.